All right. What is happening? It is Thursday night, guys. Um, oh, stand by, guys. I got one more thing to tackle right quick, and then we will be ready for the stream. While we're getting things started, let us know where you're watching from. All right. All right. I think we're all on the same page here. So, it's like I was saying, guys. We got somebody watching Cleveland, Tennessee. Thank you for joining. So, like I was saying, it is now Thursday night. What is happening, David? It has been forever. Oh, so we've made it to Thursday night. Pretty much 2 days before, actually about a day and a half before the event starts. So we're going to run through some models tonight. We do have some of the high resolution models coming in. As a matter of fact, that's why I was a little bit later. I wanted to get on right at 8, but I did not make that because I was waiting for some updates to take place, and it's 77% updated on one of the high resolution models. So anyway, let me minimize that and get back to here. So we're going to start off with the same that we've been starting off every night. We're going to start off with the GFS, kind of go over the timing of some of this. So you guys just bear with me right quick and let me get. I've been actively modifying my setup this week. Come on. Okay. Okay, so yes, we're gonna start off with the GFS, just like we've been starting off with tonight, or with every other night, and go from there. Introduce some of the high resolution models, and yeah. So this is 7 a.m. Saturday morning. This is the GFS model in precipitation type. So this is 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So I will say the models have kind of moved the timing. Initially it was showing Friday evening. Then that moved into real late Saturday. Well, now, and then it went into early Saturday morning. Now it's more kind of late morning into Saturday. Now this is timing for Southeast Tennessee specifically. Got to sneeze. And anyway, so it's looking now like we're talking about late morning, early afternoon before this is going to start. This is 10 o'clock Saturday morning, January the 24th, 2026. So it's bringing the precipitation into southeast Tennessee here. And notice it is kind of bringing it in some of the mountain locations in as a start of a little bit of mix and snow, and then transitioning over to a mixed. And as we get into 7 o'clock on Saturday, the GFS is still showing mixed and freezing rain for a lot of southeast Tennessee. And then as we get into 7 a.m. Sunday morning, starting to switch over to rain in the valley locations of southeast Tennessee. And then as we get a little bit later on in the day, around noon to 1 o'clock Eastern time, it's switching everybody over. The GFS, anyway, is switching everybody over to rain, continuing that and getting out of here at about 8 to 10 o'clock on Sunday evening. So the timing seems to be late morning, Saturday morning on starting, and kind of ending late Saturday night. GFS is showing it starting off as a little bit of snow slash mix, freezing precipitation, and then changing over to rain, freezing rain and rain into Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, throughout Saturday night, Sunday morning. They get out of here late Sunday evening into Sunday night there. Again, so that's the GFS. So we're going to switch to, let's do the European model. That's the other model that we've been looking at. So this is 7 a.m. Saturday morning, January 26th. And so this is getting in at about, I made a big jump. This is 1 p.m. on Saturday, starting to show it getting in here again. This is the European model. Notice it was showing it starting off as snow to a mixed. Why? Unoriginal content. Yeah, I don't know how that's unoriginal content. I don't know. You can't get any more original than what I am now. So anyway, okay. So yeah, this is 1 p.m. on Saturday. Now notice it is showing it starting off as a snow slash mixed here in East Tennessee. Oh. And then switching over to more of a freezing rain later on in the afternoon. And you'll notice that it's showing the valley locations of southeast Tennessee switching over to rain, and then remaining ice in the mountain locations. This is 1 p.m. No, that is wrong. 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Sunday morning. So then after that, this is 7 a.m. Sunday morning, showing rain for even the mountain locations. And then getting out of here late Sunday evening. So that's the European model. Again, saying the same thing as the GFS, starting off as a light snow as it gets in here, and then switching over to a mix, then freezing rain, then rain as we get into Saturday night into Sunday for southeast Tennessee. Now we will switch over to the Canadian model. Again, this is 7 a.m. Saturday morning, January 24th, 2026. Again, notice how all of the models are pretty much agreeing now on what we've got, the timing and how it's going to kind of play out. So again, Saturday morning at 7 a.m., starting to get into some of the western counties of southeast Tennessee here. And notice again, it's showing that snow, freezing rain mixed. It's starting off as that. As we move a little bit forward, this is 1 p.m. on Saturday. Notice all of Tennessee in the mix now. This is 7 p.m. on Eastern time on Saturday night. And notice again, it's starting to bring this warm nose up, starting to bring the rain and the more of the freezing rain a little further north. Now, this is, like I say, the Canadian model. It is showing it kind of hanging on a little bit longer on some of the higher elevations of the mixed precipitation, but eventually it does switch it all to rain. This is 1 p.m. on Sunday. So again, that transition, starting off is a light snow, light sleet, mixed bag, switching over to a freezing rain, then rain in the valleys, freezing rain in the mountains, then eventually rain everywhere as we get late into the night on Saturday and through the day on Sunday. And again, getting out of here late Sunday evening and just getting on out here pretty quick at that point. Um, Upstate North Carolina, that is out of the area that I typically look at, but we will look at that in a minute. I'll come back to that comment. We'll take a look at that after we go through the models. Okay. So I'll come back to you. Appreciate the comment. So that was the Canadian model. We will switch over to the NAM model. Trying to wait on the HRRR, the latest of the HRRR to load. So anyway, this is the NAM model. We're going to bring this forward. Yeah, so that's showing us. This is 8 a.m. Saturday morning, January 24th. So again, even the NAM is saying kind of around that, this is the western counties of southeast Tennessee. This would be Bledsoe, Marion, Sequatchie, Van Buren, Grundy, Franklin County. Kind of those counties, starting around that 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern time. And notice, again, it's showing it starting off as snow, then transition to a mix, then transitioning to freezing rain. And that's as far out as we can go. But this is a high resolution model. Is that really, are we on the, let me make sure. I knew it. Okay, let's look at that again on the latest one that just updated. I was about to say it should go out a little bit further. So yeah, this is what I was wanting to kind of show you. Apologize, guys. This is why I wanted the high resolution data. Why? I tell you what, technology sometimes is fun. So I can't zoom in apparently, but you'll notice that if you're in Pikeville, Dunlap, Jasper, you'll notice that little sliver right there is showing rain. And then over the Cumberland Plateau, Lookout Mountain, Signal Mountain, over into Brayton Mountain, Dayton Mountain, Evansville Mountain, and then over on the Fall Creek Falls side, going down to Griffith area, going down to Fredonia, and all the areas through there. You notice it's still picking up on freezing rain. And this is kind of what I was thinking. I think that the valley locations are going to switch to rain later on into Saturday evening into over the overnight and the early part of Sunday. I think the valley's going to see rain, and I think some of these mountain locations, my personal opinion is that they may not change from freezing rain till late on Sunday. Though the models are showing the warm nose to get up pretty high. So we will see if that happens. But this is one reason I was waiting on the high resolution models, because the lower resolution models that we were looking at did not take into consideration elevation changes. So Ashley, thank you for the bless you. Yeah, I playing with one of my cats earlier, and I shouldn't have done that. So now my allergies is acting up. So that may happen once or twice more, but appreciate it. Hey, we have Jamie here. That is awesome. Jamie, thank you for joining. Um, okay, so but that was one reason I wanted to look at that. Let's look at let's see what other models can we look at. Let's see how far the HRRR has gotten in its scheme. I think it's far enough that we can go 48 hours. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm on the latest. There we go. Now let's see how far. This is the model I've been waiting for. And we're just barely getting into it. The reason I like the high resolution models is, it takes into account elevation changes where the other models wasn't. When the other models would bring the rain into the entirety of Southeast Tennessee, you think that all of Southeast Tennessee is going to switch. Well, what you're seeing here on the HRRR is, Grandview Mountain, Evansville Mountain, Dayton Mountain, Brayton Mountain, all the way down through Sell Creek. And then over here in the Bledsoe, the Mount Crest area, the Griffith area, the Brockdale area, Frog Creek Falls and stuff, it's showing that as still being freezing rain. So that's kind of what this is. This is Saturday afternoon. But that's kind of what I was personally thinking. I think the mountain locations of Ray County, Bledsoe County, Western Hamilton County, Eastern Sequatchie County, Eastern Marion County, all the way down through there, they may contend with the ice a little bit longer. So this is one reason I wanted to take a look at the long range models, and that's as far out as we go. This is 7 p.m. on Saturday. But it is agreeing. It is bringing light snow at the very beginning, early Saturday morning, into parts of Southeast Tennessee, switching over to a mixture of snow, sleet, freezing rain, then switching over to freezing rain, and then rain in the valleys and freezing rain in the mountain locations. So now that we've looked at the models I'm interested in looking at, let's go back and look at totals. We'll do snowfall total on a couple of them. We're not really going to see any snow out of this. Unless something drastically changes, which I don't expect that. The model can move a little bit, or the low pressure, center of low pressure can go a little bit further north, south. You got a question, Jamie. You don't have to get completely detailed, but where would you be kind of working at? Would you be traveling up and down a higher elevation? Would you be leaving a higher elevation, going to a higher elevation, one of the mountains? And what time on Saturday? If you don't care to share a little bit extra information there without getting too detailed. Okay, so I want to bring the GFS up for snowfall totals, and just to kind of show you that, it's really not calling any for any of the valley locations of Southeast Tennessee. Okay, so I think I think you would be fine. Because that's you're not going up a mountain. I'm assuming you would be going in the morning and coming back home later on in the day on Saturday. If that's the case, I think you would be if you're going in at 4:50 a.m. in the morning, you're going to be fine. It's not even going to be started at that point. Being in the valley, I think you're going to be okay. That's just kind of what it's looking like right now. But anyway, notice the snowfall totals is pretty much Interstate 40 and north. So you're looking at that Crossville, Cookeville, just below Nashville down to Memphis line and north. That's kind of, and you can see the GFS is calling for quite a bit of snow as fairly quickly as you get above Interstate 40. But for the Southeast Tennessee areas here that I typically talk about, really no snow. We might get a dusting out of the. Yeah, no problem, Jamie. You're very welcome. I'm glad you was able to join in. I told Ashley last night. Thank you guys for pushing me to um, reach out a little bit further on I guess the platforms, if so. You followed me 1,848 days ago. That's awesome. That's wild. Sorry, just checking some of the comments. Anyway, we might get a dusting out of the very beginning of the snow, but in Southeast Tennessee here, but I really don't expect that unless you're above Interstate 40 right now. That could shift a little bit, but it's not going to shift very much. Let's see. This is the GFS. Let's see what the Euro is showing for snowfall totals. So yeah, the European's kind of about the same thing. It's a little bit further to the north and west. Pretty much no snow accumulation in Southeast Tennessee. I appreciate it, Jamie. So looks like snow is pretty much out of the forecast, other than a few flurries and a few snow showers at the very beginning, late morning on Saturday into early afternoon, then transitioning over to sleet, freezing rain, then to rain in the valley locations. The mountain locations is what the models are showing, that the mountain locations will hold on to the freezing rain until late Saturday night, and then transitioning to all rain for everybody in Southeast Tennessee late Saturday night into early Sunday. And I'm kind of hoping that will, any ice accumulation that we do get during the day on Saturday, I'm kind of hoping that this will kind of melt that and get rid of that. So that's what it looks like right now. I'm not going to show any more snowfall totals because it's not in my forecast area here. We're really not going to see that. What I do want to look at is see if we can look at ice accumulations. And you have to bear with me here. I have to jump around to a few different sites because some of these you have to pay a subscription to get access to some of that stuff. So this is the GFS ice accumulations, and this is what we're really worried about. If Chattanooga gets an inch and a quarter of ice, that's just going to be catastrophic. Showing Athens maybe almost an inch of ice. I don't. Based on the data that I have right now, I don't think that's going to happen in the valley locations. I don't expect Chattanooga to get an inch of ice. I really expect the valley locations to get really a tenth of an inch to maybe a quarter inch of ice. Now, the mountains of the Cumberland Plateau, it's very possible if it never switches from freezing rain that we could see, a quarter inch to a half inch, even more of ice. So if that happens, that would be catastrophic. So, yeah, I agree. It needs to switch into snow very rapidly. But unfortunately, we're to the point that I don't think that's going to happen. I've been interested in the weather my whole life. I've lived in this area my whole life. I've watched these models for really since I've had access to these models. It's been about 10 years, and I have watched these during these snow events. And for many years, I kind of would argue with them and say, no, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I remember in the early 2000s, I remember a system that come through like this that it ended up, they predicting it changing to rain. It changed to rain in the valley locations, but it was continued to be snow up here on the mountain where I live. And we ended up with 6 to 8 inches of snow. But you drive halfway down the mountain to Dayton, and my local people will know what that means. There was nothing. So we're talking about, a 400 or 500 foot elevation just a few miles down the road changed everything. That's what really got me interested in watching this stuff, because they said it was going to change. It never did change. This was the early 2000s, by the way. This was a long time ago. But I remember that, and that got me interested in it. So after that, I really started to pay attention to the models, and really heavily after 2010. And I will say that every time these models show a warm nose coming into the area like it's showing, it's been accurate. So I do believe that we are going to see rain, and I do believe that it will be some freezing rain in the mountain locations. The question is whether that warm nose, how intense it's going to be. If it's extremely, extremely intense, like the models are showing, then late Saturday night into Sunday morning, everybody, including mountain locations, will change to rain. But that's the question right now. So that was the GFS on ice accumulation. Let's look at the European. No, sorry, I can't look at it. I don't have access on this. Let's see if the Canadian will give me ice accumulation, and it does. So this is the Canadian model. Ice accumulation, again, it's kind of showing that 1/2 inch to 1 inch for Southeast Tennessee. That would be if it didn't change to rain. I think it's very possible that some of the higher elevations of Southeast Tennessee, and of course the Smoky Mountains, can see that area. Speaking of the Smoky Mountains, you'll notice the really, really high ice accumulations, down into central and northeast Georgia, extreme northern, northwest parts of South Carolina, and pretty much all the state of North Carolina. But we're going to have cold air damming coming through there. So you're going to have clockwise rotation of wind coming off that high pressure north of this. It's going to bring down cold air, and it's going to wrap it into the lower side of this and be stopped by the Smoky Mountains. And so it's going to trap some cold air near the surface in those areas of extreme northeast Georgia, some of the Blue Ridge Mountains there. Northwestern parts of South Carolina, and pretty much all of North Carolina, and in the Smoky Mountains area. Those areas are going to see a catastrophic amount of ice because of this cold air damming that's going to happen there. So let's see here. What else can we look at? Let's look at the NAM. Let's see if it'll let me look at ice accumulation. It will. Let's look at ice accumulations. Are we on the newest run? Nope, I didn't think so. Oh, okay. There we go. So as far as we can go, 60 hours from now. But yeah, this is the NAM 3 kilometer. This is got us into 1 p.m. on Sunday for ice accumulations. This is probably a little bit more accurate of what we would see. It's saying 1/4 inch of ice in Chattanooga. That's highly likely, depending on how long it takes the valley locations to switch over to rain. And tell you what, let's see. There's a pretty good amount there that it's showing for the Dayton Mountain, Evansville Mountain. Let's see if we can see that on this software. I cannot. Man, I was really hoping Maybe. What's that? Because we can zoom in and view this in higher resolution. That's not what I want. Bear with me, guys. Let me see if I can get this to what I want. Okay. Oh, man. That's so aggravating. I guess I'm going to have to get a subscription to the other. I was hoping we could look at it on this software, but there is a area there. I wish it would let me zoom in. Let's do it this way. Let's do this. That ain't what I want. It's not gonna let me zoom into that either. Okay, well, we gave it a try. So looking, yeah, see, this is kind of showing kind of that quarter inch to maybe a half inch ice for the valley locations of Ray County, and then almost an inch of ice accumulations on kind of Evansville Mountain, Dayton Mountain areas. So it's like I say, it's the mountain locations have that potential to get some serious ice, especially if it never changes. But according to the model, it looks like it will. So yeah, to kind of recap, starting Saturday morning, January 24th, between kind of that 8 a.m. 10 a.m. Time frame. Well, let's say 8 a.m. and noon, and this is for Southeast Tennessee. Then starting off as a few snow flurries, snow showers. The air is going to be dry. It's going to have to moisten up as it comes in. Then switching over to a mixed scenario for all of Southeast Tennessee. Then switching over to rain late Saturday night into Sunday. And then continuing on to Sunday morning, rain in the valley locations. It's questionable whether how long the mountains are going to hold on to the freezing precipitation, and then getting out of here Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Now, one thing that I can show you on this other one is we got to talk about temperatures. So this, I'm gonna put the cursor right at Dayton, and we'll jump up. Yeah. So you'll notice overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. This is the NAM 3 kilometer showing downtown Dayton being around 25 degrees. The mountain being around 24, 25 degrees. So higher elevations being around the mid 20s, and the valley locations being in the mid to upper 20s on Saturday morning. Then as the precipitation starts to roll in, be kind of bouncing back up a little bit. And by that would be 9 a.m. Yeah, see, that's even a little bit different. But this is 9 a.m. on. That can't be right. I can't remember if this app is in UTC and I have to convert it or not. This may be in actually Eastern time. If that's the case, this is 2 o'clock on Saturday, which would make more sense. Dayton getting right at that freezing mark around 2 o'clock on Saturday. But notice the mountain location is still 29 degrees, 28 degrees according to this model, 27 degrees, 26 degrees as you get further up into like Grandview. So that's going to be the question. We're going to definitely have it starting Saturday morning, maybe a few snow showers, snowflakes, snow flurries, transitioning over to sleet, freezing rain mix. It may jump back and forth a few times, slowly transitioning over to the freezing rain, then valley locations later Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning, switching to all rain, and then the mountain locations is going to switch to all rain at some point really, really late Saturday, probably more like early Sunday morning, as is what it's showing right now. But something I want to go a little bit further, and I may have to switch to a different model. Yeah, let's switch to a model that goes out a little bit farther. The big story behind this is what's it doing? That's not what I want. The big story behind this is going to be the temperatures. So check this out as we get. All right, where are we at here? So as we get into this is going into Sunday night. We'll put this right at Dayton. So 21 degrees as we go Sunday night into Monday morning. 17 degrees, 10 degrees for Monday morning in downtown Dayton, Tennessee. And really not rebounding very much at all. Only getting into the upper teens, lower 20s during the evening of Monday, January 26th. So it's going to be very cold behind this late Sunday night going into Monday, extremely cold. So we are going to have to deal with that now as we get. Oh yeah, look at that. So Tuesday morning. This is Tuesday morning, January 27th. This is 7 a.m. Yeah, showing -4 degrees in Dayton, Tennessee. Tuesday morning is going to be absolutely frigid. I think it's going to get that cold? No, I don't. But anywhere from single digits is definitely going to happen. Anywhere from 0 to 10 degrees is going to be very, very common. Some of the real high elevations may get around 0, maybe right below, but Tuesday morning is going to be absolutely cold. So Sunday, late Sunday night, as the front comes through and this precipitation gets out of here, and it's going to be breezy. It's going to be very windy Sunday. Later on Sunday night, it's going to usher in colder air. We're going to drop temperatures throughout the night, throughout the day on Monday. Monday's going to be windy, cold, absolutely horrible. Going to have to watch out for black ice as we get through, Monday morning going to work. That's going to be a real, real concern. And then as we go into Monday night, into Tuesday morning, it is going to be just absolutely cold, the coldest air that we've seen. So that's kind of concerns with this. Also, one other concern I wanted to mention, excuse me, guys. There's going to be a lot of rain with this. Anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5 inches of rain for the area. So if that happens, we're going to have potential for flash flooding. So, so we're going to get a little bit of everything, just not what we want. So be watching out for that. Traveling to work on Monday. So actually, I do believe schools will absolutely be canceled on Monday. I think I think most likely they're going to due to the black ice. And it wouldn't surprise me if you have a delay on Tuesday morning, if not a straight up cancellation. So Heather, the mountain, yeah, my gut tells me that we're gonna hang on to freezing rain till late Saturday night into the wee hours of Sunday. If that holds true, then we can see anywhere from 1/4 inch to half inch, maybe more, maybe more of ice. And if that happens, it's going to be it's going to be catastrophic. You need to especially if you're in the higher elevations of southeast Tennessee. And I hope it don't happen. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just saying this is the model's trended from the snow to the freezing rain, and we're pretty close now. We have starting to get high resolution data that's matching up, but a degree or two can make a difference. But what I was saying is, you guys that live on the mountain really need to plan for a lot of ice, and with that's going to come trees falling down, the potential to be without power for a while. So, that's something to be said there. Make sure you have food, stuff like that. Generator, fuel for the generator, another heat source. I remember I went through an ice storm back in the Luminary area. Kind of, this was 1997 going into 1998. I went through an ice storm in the Luminary area, so north of on the mountain between Dayton and Pikeville, but near Spring City up in that area. Some of you guys are going to know, my local peeps are going to know where that's at. But anyway, went through an ice storm there, and we had 3/4 to an inch of ice, and we was without power for 7 days, 7 days plus. So that's I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that was an ice storm. That was the last catastrophic ice storm that I went through. That was the same scenario as what we're seeing now. It was rain in the valleys, and it just never changed to. It stayed below freezing. It was 28 degrees and raining for about the same amount of time, and so we ended up with 3/4 inch ice, something like that. And trees was just. I'll never forget the sound of the trees snapping and falling and stuff. It's wild, but unfortunately, I think that we have to prepare for that. So, on the mountains, especially, I really do. I really do think that the valley locations is going to switch over to rain late Saturday afternoon, evening, and I think that's going to melt the ice that we have to deal with as we go into late Saturday and through the overnight Saturday into Sunday and then Sunday morning. So that my gut tells me that the valleys will be okay once we get past the first bit of it. So yeah, I would prepare for it most definitely. Yeah, I know that ain't what you wanted to hear, but unfortunately, I think that's what we got. Um, Thank you guys. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. Yeah, make sure y'all click the like button. As somebody said in the comments, appreciate that. Let's see. All right, let's go back to. We had somebody ask earlier about North Carolina. Let's see where that was. I don't remember. Actually, it was. It was a week or 2 weeks or something like that. I don't personally remember snow, but I do remember the ice. I'll never forget the ice and the way that it was in all the trees. The trees that didn't fall the next morning when the sun come up, I remember the sun shining through it, and it just sparkled. The trees sparkling. It was beautiful for what it was, but there was a time period. I was pretty young at that point, but we spent without power for a week or 2 weeks. It was rough, and that's absolutely something that could happen, especially living up here on the mountain, and depending on how far you're off the main roads you live and stuff, because they're going to light up the main roads and stuff first. But the ice will bring down trees real quickly. So the good thing is, if we do switch over to rain in the mountain locations late Saturday night, early Sunday, then I'm hoping the rain will melt all the ice off of it before we get into the wind. Sunday night into Monday, because the wind will really cause the issues. But yeah, you need to plan for potentially being out without power, and not being able to get out. Uh, I was trying to see. I can't remember. But anyway, somebody asked about North Carolina. Um, I do want to take a look at that. I tell you what we'll do. We'll switch back over to. And I just realized I forgot to switch one of the graphics over on one of the other. So you guys didn't see some of the stuff I was talking about. I apologize on that. Where am I going here? I want to go there. So let's see here if I can switch over to a little bit further east. I forget if the person was asking for ice or snow. If you're still in here, apologize. It took so long for me to get to your comment. Oh, here it is. Upstate North Carolina. So let's run through that right quick. Precipitation type. NAM 3 kilometer. No, let's look at the GFS. Okay, so let me run through the European model right quick. It's kind of what I thought, but too fast. Yeah. Okay, so upstate North Carolina, this is gonna be starting a little bit later for you guys. This is going to be 7 p.m. Saturday evening before you guys start to kind of see anything. But it's going to start off as a little bit of light snow showers, kind of like it is here in East Tennessee, and then you're going to quickly switch over to freezing rain. The only difference is in North Carolina, you are not going to change back to rain. It is going to maintain freezing rain for the entire. This is going to be, let's see, when is this? This is going to be 7 p.m. on Sunday. You guys are going to be in some absolutely horrendous freezing rain at that point. But you guys have it looks to be a horrible ice storm for pretty much all of North Carolina. So, yeah, I hear you. Yes, yeah, I want the snow to come south, not north. I agree, but we're at the point now. I told you guys that as we get into Thursday, we're going to have the we're going to kind of know. We're 48 hours, even 48 less than 48 hours to the start of this, and nothing major is going to change at this point. It's going to be minor changes. The only major change that we would have is the higher elevations of southeast Tennessee never switch to rain late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, like the models are showing. That would be a change that would end up being pretty catastrophic for the mountain locations. Yeah, the trees actually was unbelievable. I remember, again, that goes a long time ago. So, but what I remember is later that night, the front come through and it got really windy, and I can remember the sound of the trees when they're bending back and forth, creaking, cracking, and then when they would finally fall and hit the ground, sounded like they were shattering. It was a wild sound. Yeah, going up and down Grandview, 68 there. That's going to be, depending on how much ice we get, that's liable to be impassable. So people who live on Grandview, you need to make sure that you've got everything that you need before Saturday morning, and just plan on staying home all day Saturday. Frankly, all day Saturday and Sunday. But just in case it don't switch over to rain like it's showing. Um, all right. So South Carolina at the Georgia line, northwest. Did I read that wrong? I did read that wrong. Thanks for the correction on that. That's pretty much run through it again, but um, that was upstate South Carolina. What are we on here? European, yeah, that's fine. Uh, it's really going to be no different. I already know. Um, yeah, because of the cold air damming, and you can see this on this graphic right here. You can really see we've got the high pressure area north up here, and it's bringing air down clockwise, and it's bringing that cold air down from the northeast, and it's coming in around the eastern side of this low and hitting the Appalachian Mountains there, and just stopping and has nowhere to go. I think because of the cold air damming, I don't think. I think it's going to be freezing rain for the entirety of northwest of the state. Yeah, that area may change to a little bit of rain late. Probably more like early Sunday morning. But that is going to be a huge if. Um, the European model, which is the one that's handled this the best, is showing it changing in that area over to rain, but it's late in the game. It's not. It's not going to be before you have a lot of ice accumulation already. Let's see if we can pull up the HRRR on that. It's not going to go out far enough for that far east. Neither is the RAP. NAM 3 kilometers is going to be the only high resolution. And it's not going to go out far enough for that just yet. But no, especially if yeah, it's South Carolina at the Georgia state line, northwest side of the state. That's kind of in the mountains there. So if this, if you're on in a higher elevation there, I don't think it's going to change. I think you're going to, because of the cold air damming, I think you're going to see ice the entire time in the extreme northwest part of South Carolina. I think it's going to be a pretty catastrophic. You are on the southern edge but I still think you're going to see catastrophic ice. Let's see here. Guys, any other questions? Let's see, how long have we been on here? We're almost at an hour. I'm 58 minutes on the live stream. Any questions, comments? Be sure to tap the screen, send some likes. Thank you guys for watching. So yeah, just kind of recap that anybody that has joined that just joined. This is for Southeast Tennessee, kind of starting late into the morning, early afternoon on Saturday. May start as a little bit of snow showers for the entire Southeast Tennessee area. And I'll get I'll come back to that in just a second. But yeah, starting late morning on Saturday, January 24th, it's probably frozen precipitation, a mix between snow, sleet, freezing rain. Um, then transitioning over in the late afternoon, early evening. Trans. What am I trying to say? I'm tired. But yeah, turning into rain in the valley or freezing rain Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, and then as we get into the overnight hours, late evening into the overnight hours into Saturday, transitioning to rain in the valley locations of southeast Tennessee. Sticking around to ice in the higher elevations of the Cumberland Plateau for a little bit longer, and hopefully changing to rain for the entirety of southeast Tennessee late Saturday night into Sunday, and getting out of here. And it's like I say, we're anywhere from 1.5 to 3.5 inches of rain possible. So some flash flooding is going to be a concern. It's going to be really wet. If we do get any ice, you're going to have to worry about that. Trees falling, various things like that, especially in the higher elevations. Sunday night, later Sunday evening, Sunday night, when the front comes through, it's going to be windy. Temperatures are going to be dropping. It's going to be brutally cold Monday and especially Tuesday morning. Be down into single digits on Tuesday morning. But Monday morning is going to be interesting traveling to work because of black ice. So let's see here. So yeah, good question. So let's let's start right here. So this is going to be northwest Georgia. So let's see. This is 11Z. So this is 6 a.m. Saturday morning, January 26th. This is going to be 7 a.m. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10, 11, 12. Let's look at a different model. Let's look at the European to get a better. So this is 1 o'clock on Saturday, January 24th. It looks like it's going to be coming in at an angle. The line's going to be coming in from the southwest to the northeast. So parts of Middle Tennessee and the western parts of southeast Tennessee may get into it before northwest Georgia. But I would say the timing for starting is going to be somewhere around 10 a.m. Eastern time to 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday for northwest Georgia. And you're going to start off with a little bit of freezing rain probably for an hour or two, and then you're going to transition to pretty much rain for the entirety of the day, and then it's out of here. It's out of here by 7 p.m. on Sunday. So Saturday afternoon for it starting northwest Georgia, and out by Sunday late afternoon, early evening. So hopefully that covered it. Excuse me, guys. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments, the interactions. This is Thursday night, January 22nd, 2026, believe it or not. I will plan on going live tomorrow evening as well to give another update. And yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you. So yeah, we will look at this again tomorrow evening. And as we get into it on Saturday and stuff, I will probably be posting some videos. And I probably will live stream some of it. But be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and all that stuff, and kind of check in for updates as we get into this. And with that being said, we're a little over an hour on the live stream. So thank you guys for the fun. It's been, I have live streamed every day this week. Um, I have not done that. I don't think I've live streamed this many times consecutively. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Got a comment saying, fingers crossed that it shifts again and dumps us with snow instead of ice and freezing rain. Uh, yeah, me too. Me too. 100%. My experience is this close to the event, you're only going to see minor changes. Um, I hope that I'm wrong, but my experience is, we're 48 hours, 48 hours out basically, even less to the start of it. You're only going to see minor changes now. Um, you know, I say a minor change when you're dealing with ice. Uh, when you're dealing with ice, it's like I say, the only thing we could hope for is that it continues going further north by a little bit more, and we just have nothing but rain. That's the only good thing you could ask for right now. It's not going to shift enough to give us snow. Um, it's not a matter of, I mean, you guys are gonna, wake up and look at the temperatures, as this stuff starts, and you're gonna look at the temperatures Saturday afternoon and stuff. You're gonna be like, hey, it's 30 degrees. Hey, it's 28 degrees. Hey, it's 32 degrees. Why is it raining? Well, it's all because we got that warm nose, that warm layer of air that's going to come up above the cold air. The cold air is going to stay next to the surface, and the warm air is going to ride over top of it. My 10 years of experience watching this stuff in Southeast Tennessee specifically, my experience is when the models predict that, um, it is absolutely pretty accurate. So, all right, well, I don't know what that was about. Okay. Oh boy. But yeah, everybody check in tomorrow night. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ashley. Jamie, thank you for joining. Brighton. Who else did we have in here? Hey, Heather, thank you for joining. You guys need to prep for ice, Heather. David, Deneen, thank you guys. Tony Kelch, thanks for joining, buddy. I think I seen Mary Beth Dyer in here earlier. Or Dyer. Boy, you can Norris, I mean. Sorry, Mary Beth. Oh, anyway, thanks for joining. Yeah. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow night, Friday night, and again, I've been shooting for between 8 and 9. But I may wait till about 8:30, like I did tonight, because I was waiting for the HRRR to render the new run of it. So anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m. is when I'd be starting. And as you see, after I get started, I get to rambling and carrying on. But yeah, look for me to start between 8 and 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. You guys have a good night. Thanks again, and see you guys tomorrow night. All right.